Chosen one. Only 72 hours are left, and a massive financial blessing has already been released straight to you. Read that sentence again, slowly, because the words you just heard were not random. They were placed in front of your eyes at this exact hour, on this exact day, for a reason that is about to become impossible to ignore. You were not browsing. You were not searching. You were being pulled. Something inside you, something quiet and tired and deeply aware, knew that a message was waiting, and it led you here, to this screen, to this voice, to this moment. Stop for a second. Put the phone a little closer. Turn the volume up if you must, because what I am about to share with you in the next few minutes is not a general message for a general audience. This is a private transmission, and you are the only one I am speaking to right now. I do not care how many other eyes are watching this video. I do not care how many notifications are trying to pull you away. Out of everyone who could have landed here tonight, you are the one I see. You are the one I recognize. And you are the one this 72-hour window was opened for. I know how you have been feeling lately. I know the weight you have been dragging through every morning. I know the silent calculations running in your head every time you open your banking app, every time a bill lands in your inbox, every time someone asks you a simple question about money and you have to rearrange your face so they do not see the panic underneath. I know the tired look you give yourself in the mirror. I know the prayers you whisper when no one is listening. I know the nights you lay awake wondering if anything is ever going to shift for you. Chosen one, it is about to, and it is about to happen faster than you are prepared for. But before I tell you exactly what is being released to you in the next 72 hours, stay with me, because what comes next will completely change the way you see every single hard thing you have lived through up to this point. Every delay, every closed door, every opportunity that looked like it was meant for you and then slipped away at the last second, every person who counted you out, every season of lack that made you question whether you were being forgotten. All of it has a meaning you have never been told. And once you hear that meaning, you will not be the same person who pressed play on this video. Most chosen ones will never hear this message. Not because it is hidden, not because it is locked away, but because they scroll past it too soon. They feel the pull. They feel the shift in their chest. They feel something whispering stay, and then a notification pops up, a thought distracts them, and they swipe away from the one message that was carrying their breakthrough. Do not be that person tonight. Do not walk away from the single video that was placed in your path to interrupt years of financial silence. If you leave this video right now, you will not just miss a message. You will miss a moment that was assembled specifically for you. Here is what I am promising you if you stay until the very last word. You are going to understand the real reason money has been slipping through your fingers for so long, and it is not what you have been told. You are going to learn the 3 unmistakable signs that are going to appear in your real life within the next 72 hours. Signs that will confirm that your financial release has already been activated. You are going to discover the one silent instruction that almost every chosen one misses. The small, quiet thing that separates the ones who receive everything from the ones who stay stuck another year. And you are going to walk away from this video with a peace you have not felt in a very long time, because for the first time you will know that you were never forgotten. You were being prepared. There is something else I need you to hear before we go any further. The reason this video reached you tonight, instead of last month or last year, is because the timing was not right before. You were not ready. The season you were standing in had not finished its work in you yet. But something recently shifted. Maybe you cannot name it, but you can feel it. A quiet pressure in your chest. A strange sense that something is about to turn. A heaviness that has started lifting in ways you cannot explain. Chosen one, that is not random. That is the signal. The clock has already started, and the window is already moving, and the only thing standing between you and what has been released to you is whether you stay, listen, and receive. So before anything else is said, before a single secret is revealed, before the 3 signs are named, before the silent instruction is unlocked, I need to know that you are truly here with me. Not half here, not distracted, not scrolling, fully here. If you can feel that this message reached you on purpose, if you can feel the weight of these words settling into something deep inside you, then I need you to do one thing right now. Type Amen to affirm. You typed Amen, and something quiet just settled over you. Something you cannot fully explain. That is not an accident either. That was the first soft confirmation that you are in the right place, hearing the right words, at the right hour. But now I have to say something that is going to make your chest tighten for a moment, because it needs to be said out loud. I see everything you have been carrying, chosen one. Every single piece of it. And I am about to name things no one around you has ever noticed. I see the sleepless nights, the ceiling you have stared at while the rest of the house was quiet. The way your mind starts running numbers at 2 in the morning, adding and subtracting amounts that never seem to balance, no matter how many ways you arrange them. I see the sigh you let out when you finally sit down at the end of a long day. I see the way your shoulders drop the second you are alone, because you have been holding them up in front of everyone else for far too long. I see the fake smile you have perfected, the one you put on when someone at work asks how your weekend was, the one you wear at family gatherings when a relative casually mentions money and you laugh along as if everything is fine, while something inside you quietly cracks. You have become so good at hiding it that the people closest to you have no idea how close to the edge you have been walking. But I see it, and I want you to hear this clearly. The fact that you kept going anyway, without anyone knowing, is not weakness. It is one of the rarest forms of strength that exists. Now here is something almost no one will ever tell you. The people who carry financial pain in silence are not ignored by life. They are the ones being watched the closest. Loud struggle gets attention quickly. Silent struggle gets remembered. The ones who suffer without performing, without complaining, without begging for sympathy, are the ones whose names get written into seasons of unexpected reversal. You have been building an invisible record of quiet endurance, and that record is the exact reason you are standing at this 7-2-hour doorway right now. Do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. I see the bills you have shuffled into a drawer, because you could not look at them another day. I see the messages you left unread because you did not have an answer yet. I see the moments you stood at a checkout counter and quietly moved one item back onto the shelf, hoping no one noticed. I see the birthdays you softened with words because you could not afford the gift you wanted to give. I see the help you needed and never asked for, because shame got there before your voice did. None of that went unnoticed. None of it. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You were never lazy. You were never cursed. You were never behind. You were being held inside a very specific pressure for a very specific reason, and that pressure is finally about to break. If you have been silently struggling with money, if any part of what I just described touched something inside you, type Amen right now, because this is the moment it stops being invisible, and the next thing I am about to reveal will shake you, because it answers the one question you have been too tired to ask. Why did the money keep slipping away every time you got close? You asked the question silently for years, and now it is time for the answer. Why did the money keep slipping away every time you got close? Why did the opportunity fall through at the last second? Why did the job, the deal, the check, the chance evaporate right when you thought you had finally caught it? Chosen one, sit with me for this one, because the answer is going to rewrite years of your story in a single moment. You were not failing. Read that again. You were not failing. You were being filtered. There is a difference the size of a lifetime between those two words, and almost no one will ever explain it to you. Failing means something was wrong with you. Filtering means something was being protected for you. Every time money came close and slipped, every time a door opened and then quietly closed, every time you thought this was finally it and it was not, you were being pulled away from versions of your life that would have drained you, trapped you, or broken you before the real release could ever arrive. I know the shame you have carried about this. The way you silently compared yourself to people who seemed to move through life without resistance. The way you questioned your own intelligence, your own effort, your own worth, because the math never added up no matter how hard you worked. I know the moments you asked yourself what was wrong with you. The moments you wondered if you had made some mistake you could not remember. Some wrong turn that sentenced you to always be behind. Chosen one. None of that was true. Not one word of it. Here is something almost no one will say out loud. The people who receive sudden, unexplainable financial shifts are almost always the ones who were held back the longest. The delay was never a punishment. The delay was the preparation. If the money you wanted 3 years ago had arrived 3 years ago, it would have been gone in 6 months, and you would have ended up in a deeper hole than the one you were already in. You were not being denied. You were being strengthened. You were being stripped of the wrong relationships, the wrong habits, the wrong identity, so that when the real shift came, it would stay. Do not move past this part, because this is where almost every chosen one misses the moment. You were not punished for something in your past. You were being trained for something in your future. The lack you walked through taught you how to stretch a dollar, how to sit with silence, how to pray without witnesses, how to keep going when there was no applause. Those are not small lessons. Those are the exact skills that the version of you with money is going to need. Because money finds the untrained quickly and leaves them just as fast. Here is the truth no one tells you. You were never behind. You were being built. Every closed door was a wall around a pit you could not see. Every delay was a detour around a loss you were never meant to carry. The time you thought you wasted was the time you were being saved. So let every layer of financial shame fall off your shoulders right now. The guilt, the embarrassment, the quiet self-blame, all of it. If you are ready to release every financial shame from your past, type 777 inches the comments, because that is the number of full release. And tonight you are stepping out of it. And what I am about to reveal next is the part that is going to stop you cold, because it answers a question you have never dared to ask about yourself. You have been asking yourself this question since you were young, and maybe you never had the courage to say it out loud. Why me? Why this path? Why the wait? The waiting? The silence, the strange sense that something different was being asked of you. Chosen one, the answer is finally here, and it is going to make years of your life suddenly make sense in a way they never have before. You were chosen because of what you survived, not despite it, because of it. Ordinary people do not get pulled toward messages like this one. Ordinary people do not feel a quiet pressure in their chest when certain words are spoken. Ordinary people do not carry the kind of depth that sits behind your eyes when no one is looking. The fact that you are still here, still listening, still holding on after everything that tried to break you, is the proof. You are not like the rest, and you have known it for a very long time, even when no one around you could see it. I know the loneliness that comes with being different, the strange feeling of sitting in a room full of people and still feeling like you do not belong to any of it. The conversations that felt shallow while something inside you was screaming for depth. The friendships that faded because you outgrew them before you could explain why. The moments you wondered if something was wrong with you for feeling things so deeply, for noticing things no one else noticed, for sensing shifts in a room before anyone else did. Nothing is wrong with you. You were built this way on purpose. Here is something almost no one will tell you. The people who are marked for more are almost always the ones who were tested the earliest. The childhood that asked too much of you, the responsibilities you carried before your shoulders were ready, the betrayals that taught you to read people with painful accuracy, the loss that taught you what matters and what does not. That was not random pain. That was early preparation for a level of life that most people would crumble under. You were being trained to carry weight that would crush someone untrained. Do not move past this part, because this is where almost every chosen one hesitates and loses the moment. You have spent years shrinking yourself to fit into rooms that were never your final destination. You have downplayed your instincts, softened your presence, quieted your knowing, because the world around you was not ready for the fullness of who you actually are. That ends tonight. The version of you that has been hiding behind apologies and politeness and self-doubt is not the one stepping into this 72-hour window. The real you is Here is the truth no one says out loud. You are not waiting to become someone. You already are someone. You were marked before you had words for it. You were marked before the struggle. You were marked before the lack. The lack did not make you. It revealed you. And now the covering is coming off. If you accept this calling, if something inside you is quietly saying yes, even while your mind is still catching up, hit the like button on this video right now. That single tap is you agreeing with what has already been written about you. Do not overthink it. Just tap it, and let it be your first act of standing in who you really are. And what comes next is the part almost no one is ready to hear, because it reveals exactly what has already been released into your life while you were sleeping. You tapped the like button, and something just shifted in the unseen. The moment you did that, you sealed something you may not fully understand yet. Because what I am about to tell you next is not a maybe. It is not a someday. It is not a hope or a wish or a distant possibility. Chosen one, the blessing has already been released. It is already moving. And the 7-2-hour window you are standing in right now was not opened as a warning. It was opened as a countdown. Read that again, slowly. It is no longer a question of if. That question closed the moment you pressed play on this video. The only remaining question is how it will reach you, and whether you will be awake enough to recognize it when it does. Most people miss their breakthrough not because it never came, but because it arrived wearing a face they did not expect. A phone call from a name they had almost forgotten. A random message. A conversation in line at a store. A sudden idea at 3 in the morning that will not leave you alone. The release has many doors, and in the next 72 hours, more than one of them is going to open for you. I know the part of you that is struggling to believe this right now. The part that has been let down so many times. You have learned to expect nothing. The part that braces for disappointment before the hope even finishes forming. I am not asking you to force belief. I am only asking you to notice what has already been changing. The strange peace that has shown up in moments it should not have. The tiny doors that have cracked open recently. The small confirmations you brushed off. Those were not coincidences. Those were early tremors of what is about to land fully. Here is something almost no one will tell you. A real financial release never arrives all at once. It arrives in layers. First comes the shift in your atmosphere. Then the shift in the people around you. Then the opening of an unexpected channel. Then the actual money. And you are already standing inside layer 1. You have already felt the atmosphere changing around you in the last few weeks. You may have brushed it off as your imagination. It was not. It was the first movement. Do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones lose their breakthrough at the final step. They feel the shift begin. They feel the anticipation rise, and then they get scared. They start second-guessing. They start shrinking their expectations, because disappointment feels safer than hope. Do not do that tonight. Not this time. Not after everything you have already walked through to get here. You did not survive all of that to flinch at the finish line. Here is the truth no one says out loud. What is coming toward you is not coming to test you. It is coming to find you. The release does not need you to be perfect. It does not need you to be fully healed. It does not need you to have figured everything out. It only needs you to stop pushing it away. Stop explaining why you do not deserve it. Stop building arguments against your own blessing before it even arrives. Right now, wherever you are sitting, place your hand over your chest and say the words out loud. I receive it. Then type Amen in the comments to confirm you receive it. That single word is your signature on something that has already been written with your name on it. And the next thing I am going to reveal is the part you need to watch for with everything in you. Because there are 3 unmistakable signs coming to you inside the next 72 hours. And if you miss them, you will miss the exact moment the release lands. You said Amen, and you confirmed something that cannot be taken back. So now I am going to tell you exactly what to watch for, because the next 72 hours are not going to feel like ordinary hours. They are going to carry signals. And if you know what to look for, you will catch the exact moment the release lands in your hands. Most chosen ones miss these signs, not because they are hidden, but because no one ever told them what to look for. Tonight, that ends. The first sign is a name you have not thought about in a long time. Someone from your past is about to resurface. A person you almost forgot. A contact you lost touch with. A name that is going to cross your mind out of nowhere, or appear on your screen when you least expect it. Do not brush it off. Do not dismiss it as random. That name is carrying something for you. It may be an opportunity. It may be information. It may be a door you cannot open on your own. Pay attention to who comes back into your orbit in the next 3 days, because one of those returns is the delivery itself. The second sign is a number that will not leave you alone. It may be a repeating sequence you keep seeing on clocks, on receipts, on license plates, on prices. It may be a specific figure that keeps appearing in strange places. It may be a financial amount that keeps showing up in conversations, in your feed, in your notifications. When a number starts following you, that is not your mind playing tricks. That is confirmation that something has been assigned to you, and the pattern is the receipt. Write down every repeating number you notice in the next 72 hours. That list is going to matter more than you realize. Here is something almost no one will tell you. The third sign is the strangest one, and it is the one most people completely miss. You are going to feel an unexplainable peace at a moment that makes no logical sense. In the middle of a stressful day, in the middle of a difficult conversation, in the middle of a sleepless night. A sudden calm is going to drop over you, and nothing in your circumstances will have changed to explain it. That peace is not random. That peace is the confirmation that the shift has already happened in the unseen, and your body is feeling it before your bank account does. When that calm arrives, stop everything and notice it. That is the moment. Do not move past this part, because this is where almost every chosen one fails themselves. They receive all 3 signs and still talk themselves out of it. They see the name resurface and call it coincidence. They see the numbers and call it imagination. They feel the peace and call it tiredness. Do not do that to yourself this time. Treat every sign as real, because it is. Here is the truth no one says out loud. The signs are not being sent to convince you. They are being sent to confirm what has already been decided about you. You are not being tested. you are being shown. If you promise to watch closely for these 3 signs, if you promise not to miss them this time, type 1,111 inches the comments right now. That number is the number of alignment, and you are stepping into alignment the moment you type it. And the next thing I have to reveal is the part that will protect everything that is about to come to you. Because there are certain things you must stop doing immediately, or the release will pass right through your hands. You typed 1,111, and now you are aligned. But alignment is only half of what protects what is coming to you. There is another half, and almost no one talks about it. Because even with the release already moving towards you, even with the 3 signs on their way, there are certain habits that can still push your breakthrough further away. Chosen one, I am about to name them, and you are going to recognize yourself in at least 2 of them. That recognition is not meant to shame you. It is meant to free you. Stop begging. Stop making yourself small in conversations about money. Stop dropping hints to people who are never going to help you. Stop explaining your situation over and over to anyone who will listen, hoping that someone will finally step in. Every time you beg, in words or in energy, you are quietly telling your own life that what is coming has not already been decided. You do not beg for what has already been assigned to you. You receive it. There is a difference between asking for help and begging for rescue, and you have crossed into the second one too many times in the last year. That ends tonight. Stop apologizing for wanting more. I know the guilt you carry every time you think about wanting a bigger life. The voice in your head that tells you that you should be grateful for what you have, that wanting more makes you greedy, that other people have it worse. I know how much time you have spent shrinking your desires just to feel like a good person. Chosen one, wanting more is not greed. Wanting more is alignment with who you actually are. The guilt you have carried about your own hunger for a different life was installed in you by people who were not built for the same size of life you were built for. Release it. Here is something almost no one will tell you. The habit that blocks more breakthroughs than any other is the habit of rehearsing your lack, telling the same story about how bad things are, repeating the same numbers to yourself over and over, refreshing the same empty screen, recounting your bills to anyone who will listen. Every time you rehearse the lack, you reinforce it in your own mind, and your mind is the doorway everything has to pass through before it reaches your hands. In the next 72 hours, you must refuse to rehearse your lack out loud, not even to yourself. Do not move past this part, because this is where almost every chosen one sabotages what was already theirs. Stop checking your accounts every hour expecting nothing. Stop walking into your day already braced for bad news. Stop answering the question, "How are you?" with a sigh. Stop treating yourself like someone who is waiting to be saved, because you are not. You are someone who is being delivered. Here is the truth no one says out loud. The release is not waiting on the world around you. It is waiting on the posture you carry into the next 3 days. Walk like it is already done. Speak like it is already done. Rest like it is already done. Because it is. If you release every one of these habits right now, If you let them fall off you like an old coat you do not need anymore, type Amen in the comments. That single word is your agreement that you are done living beneath your own release. And what I am about to reveal next is the one silent instruction that almost every chosen one misses. The small, quiet thing that separates the ones who receive everything from the ones who stay stuck another year. You typed Amen, and you have already cleared the path. But now I have to tell you the one thing almost no chosen one ever hears, and it is the single, smallest action that separates the ones who receive everything inside these 72 hours from the ones who watch the window close with empty hands. This is the instruction most people miss. Not because it is complicated, because it is too quiet for them to take seriously. Chosen one, lean in, because this is the part of the message that was placed here for you specifically. The one silent instruction is this: in the next 72 hours, you must give something away before the release arrives. Something small, something quiet, something no one has to know about. It is not about the size of what you give. It is about the signal it sends. The moment you give from a place of lack, you tell your own life that lack no longer has power over you. And the moment lack loses its grip on you, the release has a clear path to reach you. I know what you are feeling right now. The voice in your head that is already saying, "But I have nothing to give." I hear it. And I am telling you, that voice is exactly the one that has kept you stuck. You do not need to give money. You can give your time. You can give a kind message to someone who has been struggling silently. You can give a real compliment to a stranger. You can give food to someone who is hungry. You can give a few minutes of your attention to a person no one notices. The release is not looking at the amount, it is looking at the posture. Here is something almost no one will tell you. The people who receive sudden, unexplainable financial shifts almost always do one quiet act of generosity in the 72 hours before the shift arrives. They do not post it, they do not announce it, they do not tell anyone. They just do it. And that single private act becomes the signature on the agreement between them and what has been released to them. You are being invited into that same pattern right now. Do not move past this part, because this is where almost every chosen one fails the final test. They hear this instruction, they nod along, and then they do nothing. They wait for the release first and promise to give later, and the window closes with them still waiting. Do not wait. Do it in the next 24 hours. Before you sleep tomorrow night, do one small, quiet act of giving. Do not tell anyone. Let it be between you and the unseen. That silence is the power of it. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You are not poor because you have little. You are poor only when you believe you have nothing to give. The moment you act from abundance, even in the smallest way, abundance starts acting on your behalf. That is the shift the release has been waiting for. If you commit to doing this silent instruction within the next 24 hours, if you promise to give something quietly without announcing it, type 777 inches the comments. That is the number of completion, and you are completing the final piece of your own breakthrough the moment you type it. And what I am about to reveal next is the part that will make every hard year of your life suddenly feel worth it. Because I am going to show you the exact life that is already waiting for you on the other side of these 72 hours. You typed 777, and you completed the final agreement. So now let me show you what you have been completing it for. Because everything you have walked through, every delay, every loss, every quiet tear, every unpaid bill, every sleepless night, was moving you toward a version of your life that is closer than you realize. Chosen one. The life waiting for you on the other side of these 72 hours is not a fantasy. It is the default state you were supposed to be living in all along, and it is about to become your new normal. You are going to wake up one morning soon, and for the first time in years, your first thought will not be about money. It will not be the dread that used to sit on your chest before your feet even touched the floor. The mornings are going to feel lighter, softer, slower. You will make your coffee without running numbers in your head. You will open your phone without bracing yourself. You will look at the sunlight coming through the window and actually see it, because for the first time in a long time, nothing is pulling you underneath yourself. The nights are going to change too. You are going to lie down and actually sleep. The ceiling you used to stare at for hours is going to become just a ceiling again. The racing thoughts are going to quiet down. The tight chest is going to loosen. You are going to feel your own breathing slow down in a way it has not slowed down in years. That peace you forgot you were allowed to have is coming back, and it is coming back to stay. I know the quiet ache that has lived in you for a long time. The ache of wanting to bless the people you love and not being able to. The birthdays you wished you could make bigger. The parent you wished you could help. The child you wished you could give more to. The friend you wished you could surprise. That ache is about to turn into action. You are about to become the one people come to, instead of the one quietly wishing someone would come to you. You are about to be the answer in someone else's story, the way you always knew you were meant to be. Here is something almost no one will tell you. The people who carry silent pain for years become the most generous givers in the world, because they never forget what it felt like to need. You are not going to become cold when the money arrives. You are going to become the kindest, wealthy person anyone around you has ever met. That is part of why you were chosen for this. The release was never only about you. It was about everyone your hands are going to reach once they are full. Do not move past this part, because this is where almost every chosen one starts to cry without knowing why. It is because something inside you is recognizing the life that was always meant for you. The one you put on a shelf years ago because it hurt too much to keep wanting it. Chosen one, take it off the shelf tonight. It is yours. If you can already feel this life. If something inside you is already tasting this new normal. Hit the like button on this video right now. Let that tap be your agreement with the version of you that is waiting on the other side of these 72 hours. And what I have to say to you next is the final message, the sealing moment, the last thing that must be spoken before the window closes and the release finishes its work. You have walked a long road inside this video. You came in carrying silent pain, unspoken bills, sleepless nights, and a question you have been too tired to ask out loud. And somewhere between the first word and this moment, something shifted. You stopped feeling invisible. You started feeling seen. You stopped feeling behind. You started feeling chosen. You stopped feeling like the wait was punishment. You started feeling like it was preparation. That is not a small thing. That is years of silent carrying finally being set down. The 7-2-hour clock is already ticking. It started the moment you pressed play, and it has not slowed down for a second. But now you are not standing in front of it afraid. You are standing in front of it awake. You know what is coming. You know what to watch for. You know what to stop doing. You know the silent instruction. And you know the life waiting for you on the other side. You did not just watch a video tonight. You received a transmission, and you received it in full. Before you go, stay with this one last message carefully, because this may be the most important thing spoken in this entire video. Right now, wherever you are, whisper these 3 words out loud. I receive it. Say them like you mean them. Say them like you already have them. Say them like the waiting is over, because it is. Everything you just heard, you already knew it. Deep inside. You just needed a voice to remind you that it was always true. You were never broken. You were never forgotten. You were never behind. You were always exactly where you needed to be, being prepared for exactly what is now arriving. What you carry now is different from what you walked in with. You carry proof that you were seen. You carry a new posture. You carry a new identity. You carry the 3 signs in your awareness. You carry the silent instruction in your hands. And you carry a peace that the lack cannot touch anymore. If this video reached something inside you tonight, if any part of it felt like it was written with your name on it, do 2 small things before you leave. Hit the like button, because that single tap helps this message find the next chosen one who is silently struggling the way you were. And subscribe to this channel, because the messages waiting for you here are not finished. There is more being prepared for you, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Now seal this moment. Type Amen and 1111 together in the comments, and share this video with one person who needs to hear it tonight. And before you close this screen, type 1212 to claim miracles. The window is open. The release is moving. And you, chosen one, are ready.